What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have another great episode for you today. Today we are going to be looking at a listing that is actually featured in the OMG category of the Airbnb. We're going to be taking a look at what exactly makes it fit into the OMG category, what they do right and what they do wrong. This listing is located about 30 minutes to an hour away from Austin, Texas. So I hope you guys like it. And make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. It really helps the channel. And let's jump right in. So here we go, guys. We are actually in the OMG screen of the Airbnb when you first log into search. And as you can see, these listings are bananas. You have tents and geodomes and tree houses and underground houses and castles and pink homes and tiny homes and the whole 9 yards in here. So let me know if you guys want me to show you more of these. We could definitely do some more listing reviews on these, but for today I'm going to be taking you to Leander, Texas. We're going to be looking at a geodome listing. Here's the listing right here, guys. It's a geodome private peaceful getaway near Lake Travis. This is hosted by Dan, holds 10 guests, it has 5 bedrooms, 5 beds, and 3 baths. So make sure you stay tuned, guys. We're gonna check out the pictures last and see what exactly makes them a OMG categorized home on Airbnb. Because there's a ton of geodomes on Airbnb, so why did they decide to feature this one? So first, we are gonna jump into the description. And right off the bat, the description is pretty well written. One thing that I would say is this description does have some big paragraphs in it, as you could see scrolling down, which are a little bit difficult to read. They do have a bullet pointed features section, which I actually like. One thing I would definitely add if I was to redo this description is making sure they put some things to do nearby, how far they are away, and bullet point those out so they're easy to read. Because again, when people are traveling to new areas, they want to know what they're going to be doing as well. So if you as a host can provide them that information, they're going to be appreciative of that, and you're going to think they're going to know you go above and beyond for your guests. So the one thing I wanted to really go over in this description was there other things to note. And this will come back up in the reviews as well, but let's take a look at this. So the other things to note: water. Please note this house has a well system, draws directly from the lake. The water is filtered and uses a water softening system. As a result, the water can taste a little salty. It is not for drinking. We provide a reverse osmosis system for drinking water. Now, that to me seems pretty important. I would make sure that was featured a little bit definitely way closer to the top in the description, but maybe even on one of my pictures. And hopefully Dan sends that information to the guests with the check-in instructions to know that. Insects and animals. The geodome is located in a rural area. There's a chance you'll find insects and animals on the property. It's actually unfortunate that some people complain about insects and animals, especially when they're going to rural areas or going to cabins in the woods, or this is right near a lake. People should understand that there's insects. I actually don't put this on my listings, but we have had people complain about bugs before, and it's just, bugs are unavoidable. Insects are in life. So the last note is the most important. It says hot days. Texas heat is real. The house has AC, but because of the large open area and many windows that allow sunlight in, the house can be hot during the day, even with the AC working at max capacity. Please manage your expectations around this, as it can be hot and unavoidable. Again, this is something hopefully Dan at least notifies the guest about before they check in, especially during the spring, summer, and early fall when the heat is raging, especially during the summer. But also in the description a little bit higher up, it noted that the geodome was completely remodeled in 2020. And we're going to talk a little bit about that when we get to the reviews. I think Dan might have made some mistakes when he was remodeling it, just based on some of the reviews he was getting. So with that being said, let's head right down to the reviews and check these out. So we're 4.74. Again, this really isn't an attack on Dan. He seems like a great host. 4.74 is not a bad rating at all. I wouldn't mind staying with a host who's 4.74. Once you get below 4.6, I start getting very concerned. But 4.74 is right near that super host. But again, to make your listing better, to make your listing stand out more, if you're watching this, you want to make sure you keep yourself above a 4.8. So Dan's got a 4.7 in cleanliness, 4.8 accuracy, 4.9 in check-in, 4.9 in communication, 4.8 in location, and 4.6 in value. Now, I've talked about how I don't really pay attention to the value category that much. And the reason why is it's very subjective. Certain people could think it's worth more. Certain people could think it's worth less. Certain people could think they got a great value. Other people could think they didn't. However, if all your other categories are high and your value category is low, this could be a signal that people are expecting more for the price you're charging them. Because everything else seemed to go pretty well, but they left there feeling with a bad taste in their mouth that maybe they overpaid. Okay, so again, I'm going to link this back to the renovation. I think Dan made one big mistake in his renovation. Okay, so we're going to check out some of these reviews. I mean, right off the bat, we do have a 5-star review, but that is in January. It doesn't get that hot in January, even in Texas. So that's great that he's got a 5-star. Here we have Tim. Says Geodome was nice inside, lots of room and plenty of space. Would have been nice to open the bottom floor doors so you wouldn't have to walk up the stairs in the front door only to walk back down. To be honest with you, I think that's just it's a little complaint. I mean, the front door is the front door. If the front door is a walk up, you got to walk up. Okay. So, and also he says it would have been nice to have a Keurig or regular coffee maker. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what Dan provides, but isn't there someone help me out? Someone leave a comment. Tell me what I'm missing here. I thought there was only two types of coffee makers, Keurig or single serving or regular. So Dan obviously provides coffee because he didn't say there was no coffee maker, but I'm not sure what he provides here. If anybody can help me out, let me know in the comments below. Anyways, Alex. We stayed at Dan's with our 3 children. I'm going to go through a list of pros and cons. So this is actually a great review. Unfortunately, he didn't do it in private feedback for Dan, but this really could tell Dan exactly what some of the issues are, and Dan should be listening to these complaints and hopefully making changes accordingly. So pros were great location, beautiful architecture. There you go. That's how we're getting into the OMG category. Spacious interior, plenty of parking, fast internet, nice welcome gift. So Dan actually leaves a welcome gift. That's a pretty nice touch. Lots of towels. Cons. No hot water in the master bedroom shower. Owner was responsive and had a plumber sent out. However, the issue was not resolved. Owner controlled the thermostat and was turned off each time we left the house. We came back to the house at 85 degrees and took hours to cool back down to 74 degrees. Not ideal when traveling with small children. Husband had to start messaging the owner when we were on our way home so he would turn the AC back on. All the kitchen dishes were dirty and had to be cleaned. There's more. House overall was probably fantastic when first remodeled, however has not been maintained. We noticed that the house is up for sale, so this may be a potential reason. Not sure if Dan is selling. I'm not sure anything about that, but interesting if he is selling it, wondering why he's selling it. You know, because he seems to have a good little Airbnb here. Anyways, let's continue on to another one, but notice the one about the temperature, because you're going to start seeing a theme. Here's Joan, 1-star review. The place was boiling hot as we entered at 5 p.m. in spite of giving a heads up to our ETA and that our old parents, kids, and newborn will be staying with us. The host took no proactive measures. Get my tongue tied out of there. The host took no proactive measures in turning on the AC before our arrival to beat the Texas heat. We hung out on the ground level until 10 p.m. and still had no hope of the place cooling down. before we decided to move to another property. These people actually left. Okay, the AC in the master did not work. The portable coolers blew out hot air. And again, Dan did mention in his description that it gets really hot and there's nothing you can do about it in the summer. And I completely understand that. You know, I have listings in the South, it gets very hot in the summer, and sometimes we have people complain too. But the whole thing is taking proactive measures and making sure it doesn't get this bad where people actually have to leave. You got to do something about that if that is the case. So those are the two big reviews I want to go over, because this is where I want to tie this back into the renovation. So when Dan did a big renovation in 2020, he should have set aside a bigger budget to put a new central air system in there, put mini splits in there, or add window units at least to the bedroom. I mean, clearly this is something people are really concerned with, is the heat. And more importantly, I have several properties with central air. I put them on smart thermostats, and during the summer, I absolutely make sure I turn on the AC a couple hours before my guests arrive. And there's a couple reasons why I do that. But number one is, yes, I want my guests to be comfortable when they show up. But number two is, if your guest arrives and your unit is 85 degrees, 90 degrees, they're gonna turn that AC down to 60. And it's actually gonna be worse than if you just turn your AC to 70 degrees, 72, whatever, and you let it cool down before the guest gets there. And then when the guest walks inside, they don't walk into a scorching hot place. Especially after traveling, people don't want to wait another hour or two for their space to cool down or heat up during the winter, by the way. They want to just go in and settle down. So make sure you're being proactive. That review that mentions that, I 100% agree with that guest. You should be proactive in making sure it's comfortable when your guests arrive, and it will actually help you because you'll have less thermostat wars with your guests. And if you've been hosting and you have smart thermostats, you have gone through thermostat wars, or worse, you have to lock your guests out of the thermostat and then they get angry at you and they message you. So I prefer not to lock my guests out of the thermostat. I also prefer not to have thermostat wars. So I just proactively set that thermostat, make sure it's nice and cool or nice and warm when they show up if it's the winter. And this way I don't have any problems. With that being said, let's jump right into these pictures. Let's check out this really cool listing and let's see what's going on. Obviously, from the outside, this place is awesome. And I'm going to stop here again, and we're going to talk again about this renovation that Dan did. Fully renovated in 2020, and he called it the Black Geodome. Well, if he knows how hot Texas gets, black attracts sunlight. Maybe he should have gone with a different color. Maybe a white geodome would have been even better. And I just think Dan made a little mistake there. Definitely should have put some more money into his budget to add mini splits or a bigger central air system. He obviously knows it's hot. And of course he paints the whole place black, which is gonna mean it's even hotter. Okay, so checking it out, I mean, this place looks gorgeous. Everything is brand new. Beautiful windows. I mean, this couldn't have been a cheap place to build. Very gorgeous living room, great decor. Hopefully it is being maintained. I mean, that guest was obviously very frustrated with their experience, but you know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. There's a fireplace, very sleek modern kitchen, black appliances, black fixtures, gold poles, really a pop design with your floating wooden shelves. Beautiful bedroom with those unique windows. I love it. And here we go, the outdoor area, patio with a little table and some Adirondack chairs. I mean, this place looks like an awesome place to stay at, to be honest with you. And one thing I love about their pictures is they actually put out their silverware, their plates, their cups. And I actually I like to call these live action photos. These are things where I bet when you show up, the table isn't set like this. But he has a photo of it, so now people who look at the photos know that that stuff is provided in the unit. So I actually love that. Make sure you do put out things in your photos that are provided. and show people what they're gonna get, as well as putting that in the description. We know that. So let's see, spiral staircase going up. Really cool design, a nice little cocktail area. Beautiful views, Lake Travis. Nice picture wall. Beautifully updated bathrooms. I mean, honestly, this is just looks like a very great, comfortable, cozy space. Now, one thing I also did notice is this place does have 70 pictures. We just did a listing that also had 67 pictures or something like that. Your house doesn't need that many pictures. You don't want to put too few. You don't only want to put 10, but you don't want to put 70. And the main reason is no one's going to look through 70. So a lot of your pictures are going to start getting redundant as well. And we'll see that at the end here. Pictures are going to get redundant. But yeah, just a great space. I love this feature wall in here. And more importantly, I love this little board they have when you come in that gives you the Wi-Fi password and also says, follow us on Instagram. What a great way to do a little bit of marketing inside your listing, not only with your picture, but when your guests show up, they're gonna have that marketing there. So that's a great feature. Another view of the deck, coffee, wine glass, outdoor area, Lake Travis again, geodome from the top, geodome from a different angle, another bedroom. And you can see the pictures are starting to get redundant here, where they're just the same rooms from different angles. And like I said, this looks like a great place to stay, to be honest with you. But overall, there's some issues they need to take care of. The AC being that big issue, they really want to get that taken care of. But overall, that is the geodome. That is an OMG listing. You could see what makes it an OMG listing. And obviously, Dan needs to get that air conditioning fixed so he can get his rating up to 4.8. But overall, I do think this would be a great place to stay. I'd probably maybe avoid this place during the super hot months in the summer and head there in the spring, fall, or winter. Hey guys, well that's another one in the books. That is the Geodome Private Peaceful Getaway near Lake Travis. That is hosted by Dan in Leander, Texas. Let me know if you guys think that is an OMG. Let me know if you like anything he did. Let me know what you saw. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we will see you soon with another listing review.